When coloring hair, I believe there's an equation for a satisfied client. You always have to figure out, what does a client have when they come in? What are you going to formulate? What color are you going to pick for that particular client to get them to the end result that they want? First of all, we have to analyze the hair and see, what does the client have. In the next few slides, you will be learning how to analyze the hair and determine what it is that the client has. If I take 5 different clients with different hair situations, different types of hair, different hair history, and I formulate, okay, I mix these two and I put them on each of those clients, I will get a different result. Why? Because what the client has will always change. This is my formulation and process. I will select these determined by what my client has and what they want. So the equation that I feel we need to follow are, first, we need to find out, what does the client have? What do I need to put on my client's hair in order for them to achieve this end result? When you go to Walmart and you buy a box of color and you see the color in the front of the box, most people will look at the color, they will buy it, and they believe that they will end up with the same hair color that was seen on the outside of the box. That is not true. That is just giving you a formulation, and it gives you a process with instructions, but it's not tailored to what the client has. As professionals, we learn to determine what it is that the client has. In the next few slides, you will learn how to analyze the hair to determine this part of the formulation. What does my client have? As you've learned in previous chapters, we have 2 parts to our hair. We have the hair root and the hair shaft. All coloring process happens only on the hair shaft, not in the hair root. Our hair shaft is composed of 3 parts. We have the cuticle, which is our outermost layer of the hair. It protects our hair from damage. It allows absorption if the cuticle is open, or it prevents absorption if the cuticle is closed. We have the cortex. The cortex is the main part of our hair shaft. It is what gives our hair its strength. It is where our color is. It is where our side bonds are that gives our hair its strength. It is where our protein is, our keratin, which is what makes up the hair. Believe it or not, when you're looking at your hair color, you are not seeing the color of the cuticle because the cuticle is clear. You're seeing the color that is inside the cortex. We then have the medulla. The medulla, some people have it, some people don't. Men who have beards will always have a medulla on their beard. Women with fine, thin hair or hair that has been processed repeatedly with bleach or with lighteners may not have a medulla. The medulla is not necessary, and it has nothing to do with the hair color process. The role that the cuticle plays in the hair color service is that it has to open in order for the color to penetrate into the cortex. Like I said earlier, your cortex is the area where the melanin is found. Depending on the type of melanin that your client has and the amount will determine what natural hair color they have. When coloring hair, after the cuticle has been opened, the color molecules will enter through the cuticle and into the cortex in order to add color. At times, when we have to lighten the hair, instead of adding lighter melanin, we are removing melanin to lighten the hair.